Okay, so for 7.7.12, it's going back to the chapter that we did where it was like drive to pick up, drive to drop off, or take, uh, pick up, um, carry to, um, and there are very there's no new vocab for here. The goals of the chapter are just taking it another step further. We're going to try to make them a little bit more complex, keeping that spatial arrangement of there are really four different locations we're talking about. There's directly in front of you if you're talking about two different things, home to work and back home. You also have two side ones if you're talking about home and then work and school. If you've got three locations, because home always tends to be the default. Um, and then if you're talking about four spaces, home, that's the easiest. It's a baseball diamond, right? Home base, first, second, third. No shortstop. We don't need them. I don't give a darn. No. We've got take. So you either grab them. So you go over here, you take them. From here, they take you. Take, right? There's pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. Not meat market kind of pickup, meaning like I picked them up at home. Then drive to, and it's not drive to, it's drive to, right? You're holding the wheel, drive to, drive to, drive to, drive to, right? And then drop off, drop off, drop off. Came over here, drop me off. Carry to, carry to, carry to, carry to. Go to, go to, go to, go to, or come, right? And drive to, drive to, drive to, drive to, drive to, right? So we're going to add in a little bit more complexity than we did last time. So that's what we're building. So start with two locations. Take one from one, drive to another one. Right? So take, drive. I will recommend having four different spaces and just practice these. I take from here, I drive to there. I take from here, I drive to there. I take from here, I drive to here. I take from here, I drive to there. And you can do any combination. Second one, I take from, I drop off. I take from, I drop off. I take from, I drop off. Do it with those four bases. I take from, I go to. 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 So practice each of those. I'm just going to keep saying it. Then we can add a third. If you go over here, pick up this person, and then drop them off over here, it's a bit more complicated. And it means you've got to visually see what you're doing. So I went to school, picked them up, and then dropped them off at work. Me, go, pick up, drop off. Could be I go, I pick up, and I drive to. Or I go, I pick up, and I brought to, I carried to. And this is the chair making noises. I am not having gastric issues. I apologize. So we can also practice with any of those, take from, pick up, drive to, but I don't need to do a slide for each one of those. You can switch those out as need be. So what's the difference between I drove to work and I drove her to work? I drive to work. Or her, I took and dropped off to work. So something that seems much simpler, I drove her to work, you have to think through, you've got to picture it. So her, I took, even if it's from here, I took, drove her to work and dropped her off. Or brought her to work, dropped her off. Went, dropped her off. Okay. And you want that to agree. So here's an example. Me, drive to work. Work is there. Work. You could do work over there. I drove to. So again, I'm starting to set up that idea that what if we establish what we're talking about first and then sign the sentence that we're going there. It's a slightly different way of thinking about it, but it's a very ASL way of thinking about it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to add in some things where we just see the sentence and you figure out what it will be. But my uncle drive to work. My uncle drove to work. We don't have to worry about past tense because we know that because you're talking about it, it already happened. You're not predicting it. If you are saying it will happen in the future, we would add a sign for future. If you're saying this happened way in the past, we would add a sign to show it takes place in the past. But if you just do it straight, we know it's either currently happening or it just happened in the near past. It makes sense. So the IX means point to, whatever location you were going to set for the uncle. So my uncle over there drives to, and he's going from here, he drives to work. So notice how I've got home base, my uncle's home, and he goes from there and he drives to work. So my uncle over there drives to work. So the IX is going to be something interesting to get used to. Now, what was they two, or the two of them? You take the two, it really is a V, but it's a K because of the way the hand turns. So my parents, those two, take me, right? So they're taking me and going to church. So my parents, those two over there, took me and go to church. So they're going to wherever we're locating church. It's a C on the wrist, on the watch. Okay. So we can go through each of them. The big things to think about are make sure that you understand from the English and the ASL, where are the locations. If you want, you can draw in example locations. But you're basically using the bases from baseball. So there are 10 different sentences, each gaining in complexity. I will bring my mother to the party. So my mother over there, I will, see there's the future, will pick up, wherever I set her, pick up mother, carry her to the party. And the party is located over here. Okay. So picture it in your head like a silent movie, like a video, a TikTok, if you will. So the next section comes right from the book, and more sentences that I want you to translate. They'll be a little bit more complex than the ones we did. Normally, this is the follow-up homework, so you can practice at home. And again, I will separate these so you can see the sentence first, and then a possible answer. There are a couple of different ones that you can look. Now, 712, there are no videos for this. There's nothing new. It's really just reinforcing those movements. Cool. So that's 712. We have 713, and I believe that is the last of Unit 7. We have a quiz coming up on 7 now that we've finished it, and it will be comprehension of watching a video and answering questions about it. And it'll be the same thing where I set it up on Google Form. It'll be a Google Form that you will answer questions on. So that's really it for 7. There's a review section at the end, but since you have all of these as lectures, we don't really have to do a review session for 7 in the classroom. Just go back over any of the videos that you don't understand, look through the book, see if there's anything that you aren't clear about. And again, I'll be in my office hours as normal. Cool.